Alright, good morning, guys. Alright, everyone, for this video, I am going to show you how to create a red-blue 3D anaglyph using one picture. So, and I'm also going to show you how to do a wiggle anaglyph from one picture. Now, the other process required two pictures, one for your left view and one for your right view. Photoshop has a feature where you can use what's called a depth map to try to kind of warp the view, and you kind of displace it slightly so it looks like you have a left view and a right view. It's a little bit off sometimes, but for the most part you can create something that's pretty convincing that it was originally taken with two pictures. So what we need to do to start is create a brand new layer here, and I'm doing that by going down to the bottom of the layers window and clicking on the new layer button, the little plus sign. And so I have my clear blank layer, and what you need to understand is that to create a depth map, anything that's lighter is something that's closer to you, or something that's closer to you should be painted a lighter color. And in this case, you're just doing a grayscale. So white would be closest to you, like this part of the wall here, and black would be the background, so the darkest is going to be further away. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and use my magnetic lasso tool to select the back. I like to start with the furthest away layers first, and so to do that, I'm just going to follow this mountain along here, and it doesn't have to be a perfect selection because you're going to end up blurring this later. But once you, whoops, and we can refine things later. I can go back and fix my selection if I need to. For the most part, this has well-defined edges, so it should be okay with the magnetic lasso tool. But where I'm at right now, I'm going to essentially be kind of selecting along the Great Wall here so that I get most of that background. And once I get this selected, then I'm going to work on some foreground objects. And so I just need to make sure I have everything selected just the way I need it. And here I'm going to go ahead and choose black, and I'll use the paint bucket tool to fill that in black. So that's the first part of our depth map. Now I like to do separate layers and then merge them later to create my depth map, because what happens if you don't do it in separate layers is sometimes you'll get these weird lines. So I can at least go back in and fix things a little bit. So next thing I'm going to do is, I see this little part back here is kind of further back than this part and this part and this part. So I'm going to do something, I'm going to select that area now, and I'm going to go a little bit lighter. Now I need to go back to my magnetic lasso tool. It's going to be a little tricky in here because we have parts of the wall that blend in a little bit better with what's going on way back here in the background. So I want to just kind of go along that, and once I've done that, I can go ahead and choose my next color, and I want to make sure I go back to my layer 2. Now, I've been just turning off the eyeballs here so that I can see where I'm going with this, but I want to go a little bit lighter, but still kind of dark, maybe like around here. And I'm going to go ahead and use my paint bucket. You can also use Alt Backspace. I actually just use Alt Backspace there. And the next part I want to do is just kind of grab this area here. So I'm going to go back to my magnetic lasso tool and make it so I can see everything again. And as I go up here, we're going to go along that same area again. And I'd say right about here be a good spot to kind of go around and select. And then just up along the wall here, and I'm going to need to add to that selection a little bit. And let's see where we're at here. I got a little space here I'm going to have to deal with in a minute, but I'm pretty good here, so I'm going to turn that back on, and I want to go a little bit lighter than what was back here. So I got that. I'm actually going to put a little bit of that color over there on this layer, because you can see there's some really far off stuff here. Might even go a little bit darker than that. And that way, whoops, that way I have a good, whoops, sorry. That way I have a good piece of that backdrop. Whoops. So I'm just taking some of this off. And I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit darker than that color. So now if I hit Alt Backspace, and then this is a little bit more closer to that color, so if I go in now, I've already made it kind of a closed shape, so I can do that. And I'm going to go ahead and fill that in with a paint bucket. And then next part I'm going to do is right along here, this extra part here. So I'm going back to my magnetic lasso, and once I have this in here, then I can go ahead and fill that in with an even lighter color. I might even try to, get a little bit of this tree in here, because it's going to kind of stand up anyways in front of everything else. And then I need to go along this part of the wall here, and just going to go to about here and follow the wall here. And so now if I pull this back up, I can see, okay, well, there's where I'm at. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit to the selection here. I'm just going to use the regular lasso tool. And I think that's pretty good. Get rid of that extra garbage here. And there you go. I'm going to go ahead and make it lighter than this color over here. So I'm going to get that to about there. Hit Alt Backspace. And I missed a little area over here, so I'll just use my paintbrush to get that in there. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, you're going to be blurring this anyways. Now this front part's going to be a matter of white. You could actually do something where you did a gradient from white to this color, and it will give it a sense that it's kind of receding back there. So I might actually do that. I'll do a gradient just to show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to turn off this so I can see the white here. I'm going to go select, or sorry, not select. I'm going to turn this back off so I can see what I'm doing here. And go to my gradient tool, which is under the paint buckets. And I already have that one color selected, so I'm going to go to complete white here and make sure that I have the regular foreground to background one selected, and my foregrounds actually should be white because I'm going to be moving that way. And I'm just going to do a gradient now from here to here. Whoops. Or maybe more like from here to here. I'm doing just a regular linear gradient. And there you go. So now I have everything on that layer, and I want to go ahead and go to filter, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And we want to just blur it a little bit. Click OK. And there might be some parts where it's a little faint, so I'm going to go back over with a brush. And I'll make my brush bigger using the right bracket. And there's a little fuzzy part there too, so I'm going to go ahead and choose this color and just kind of, and just kind of go back over and lightly hit that. So now I got my depth map. What we have to do is go ahead and File, Save As, save on your computer, put it in your documents, and call it, like I'm just going to call it Great Wall Depth. And so the next thing we want to do is go ahead and turn that layer off. We're going to resave this file again as our 3D file when we're done, but I wanted to have a separate file, or have it saved separately as something called depth map. So from here, what I need to do is make a copy of this layer. So I'm just going to right click the layer and go duplicate layer. And once I've done that, now I need to go to filter, and then if you go down to distort, you'll see a thing that says displace, and this is what I was talking about. This is the part where you're going to displace one of the pictures and have a separate view. So I want to choose displace, and we don't want anything to go up and down. We don't want anything to be displaced up and down. We want it just to be horizontal, left to right, because you know, your red and blue glasses are over a left and right eye. It's a horizontal view. So I'm changing that to 0. And this, depending on the size of your picture, you may or may not change it. You'll just have to look and see what comes out of it. But if I click OK now, and then locate the file that I just saved as Great Wall Depth, now you'll see, okay, so it's a little warped in some of these places, but what it did was it created my right view. And like I said, it's going to be a little funky sometimes. It's best if you have something that's completely well defined and everything, but I'm going to go ahead and keep this. And what I need to do now is double click on layer 1 copy, which is my right view. And when you get the layer style window up, you'll see this thing underneath advanced blending where it says RGB. And so for the right view, we're going to filter out the green and the blue, and you'll see red appear. Now I might be backwards here. It might need to be that I filter out the red, but we'll find out in a second. I'm going to go ahead and stick with what I originally had here. Click OK. And then for the other picture, the original, I'm going to make another duplicate just in case. And I'm going to double click on that layer and turn off the other, turn off the red here so I have the green and blue. And this is your 3D image. Now, trying to see, yeah, and this is exactly how it should work. So you can also take your top picture, layer 1, which is that right view, and you can adjust it. You can use your left and right arrows, or you can use your mouse and try to find a place where they overlap perfectly. And in our case, I would say kind of the foreground is the best bet. Yeah, and that, if I'm wearing my 3D glasses, which I was for a second, I put them on just to see where I'm at. That's perfectly 3D. So if I go File, Save As, save on my computer, I can save this out as Great Wall 3D. And so that's it. To make a wiggle anaglyph, all you're doing is you're turning off, whoops, we're not using the depth map, we're turning off those filters, so I'm just putting green and blue back on that one, and on the other one I'm going to go ahead and take the red put the red back on. And so now I have my two frames, and this would give me a sense of depth when it's animated rapidly. So I'm going to go Window, Timeline, and I'm going to go Create Frame Animation. So I got my first view here, and I want to add my second view there, and I'll just make my delay 1/10 of a second, so 0.1. And now I just go to File, Export, Export as, I believe, and then I change this to GIF, and if I hit export, I believe I should be able to save it out as an animated GIF file, and we'll test it out real quick. Let me actually hit play on here. So that's what it would look like there. Like I said, it's a little warped there. It's going to get funky when you're dealing with just one picture, but let me go ahead and open up my documents and see if it's an animated file. If not, we did this wrong, or I did this wrong. You guys didn't do anything wrong. So if I go Great Wall 3D Wiggle, okay, so that wasn't right. I need to go back, and I need to go File, Export, Save for Web. That's what it was. And that should give me the animated GIF option here. So if I go Save, yep, save. This is Wiggle. Alright, now if I open it up, I think it should be animated. Let's check it out. Documents. Where did my documents go here? There we go. Alright, Great Wall Wiggle. Wow. There we go. So there it is. So that's how you can do it with one picture. Just create a depth map. Alright.